What is going on, garden fans? Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. I'm out at the project site today and wanted to show you a couple things growing on. We have been getting a lot of rain lately, so a lot of the native grasses and weeds are starting to pop up and try to take over. We just can't really keep up with the chopping and dropping. I'm not upset about that because a lot of these local weeds and native weeds are perfect forage for our bees at this time. Now, we did just harvest about 2.5 gallons of honey out of this beehive last week. So we're coming into the fall and they are certainly getting ready for the fall. They're looking really good. I wanted to revisit our polyculture of pawpaws here. Just 2 weeks ago, I had chopped down some of the nitrogen fixing Elaeagnus to a more manageable level, and you can kind of start to see these polycultures shaping up. So the centralized main crop is eventually going to be the pawpaws right here in the middle. And I got a pawpaw here that has blown up this year. It has put on a good 4 or 5 feet of growth just this year. And its companions, the comfrey and the lemon balm, are looking very healthy. Once again, we've had a really wet summer this year, so it's kind of helping these polycultures take shape. Eventually, what you're going to see here is this pawpaw really take off, and it'll have this smaller nitrogen fixing shrub next to it. Behind all these nitrogen fixers, we've got figs, and the figs also have put on. So here is where we ended last year, and here's where we are this year. Most of these figs have put on a good 2.5 feet, maybe 3 feet of growth just this year. Now, that's the established figs, the figs that we had planted last year. So here's another one we planted last year. Here's kind of the growth line where it ended. And this year it's put on a good 1.5 feet of growth. Same story with the fig right behind it. They're really starting to take shape. And hopefully you can kind of start to see what's going on here, or what the vision is ultimately going to be. We're going to have these larger fig trees offset by larger pawpaw trees, and then all the Elaeagnus shrubs you see are going to end up being pruned all the way down, eventually until we chop them and drop them and get rid of them. They're going to be sacrificial plants. Right now they're preparing the soil for the figs and for the pawpaws, which are eventually going to be the main crop here. As I said, starting to look really weedy out here. Lots of the natural grasses are trying to take over. We're not 100% concerned about that, okay? That's Mother Nature's way of trying to cover the earth, and we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to chop and drop and wood chip, and that's our natural covering here. So anywhere we haven't chopped and dropped and wood chip is where we're starting to get weeds. And the dominant one right now is going to be the wild morning glory, just kind of creeping around. But believe it or not, underneath all these weeds, we still have all of our blueberries. We still have all of our trees. Nothing here is harmed because of these weeds taking up and trying to take over. Believe it or not, we'll take them all down eventually. Mother Nature will do it for us. Crepe myrtle for the bees. Let me move on up the hill, garden fans. Let's get to the main crop garden. Biggest thing we got fruiting right now is our Jujube. Oh, and they're looking really good from week to week. Once again, if you get enough rain, these guys start to look really good. Here's one starting to change color. Here's some more Jujube way up here in the tree. And these Jujube have only been here about 2.5 years. So in 2.5 years, they've put on quite a bit of growth and are fruiting for us. Pretty prolific fruiters. Here is a new Jujube. We put this one in this year. Started out as a stick in the ground, and now it's starting to take shape. I'm guessing in another year it's going to start looking like these Jujube over here. And once again, all of the Jujube we got on site are fruiting. We have Lee and Lang Jujube. They have offset fruiting times. So the Lee Jujube were the first to fruit. This is a Lang Jujube. It's the next one to fruit. And we kind of get like this offset harvest time where we're harvesting all the Lee Jujubes and then we're harvesting the Lang Jujubes right afterwards. Keep on walking up the hill. Lots of stuff growing on. We got pineapple guava over here are also fruiting. Here again, with all the extra rain we've been getting, it's been easy for us Haven't had to do a whole lot. Here are some pineapple guava coming on, and there's quite a few on here. So in only 2.5 years of these bushes being in the ground, they're already starting to produce for us. They get enough sunlight and we've had enough rain for them to be happy. I'll give you a wide shot. It looks like a wild meadow. It really looks like a wild meadow right now, and that's what we want. We want it to look like this. This is not a bad thing that we have all these weeds growing up. Here again, all this wild dandelion and all the wild asters growing up. This is a forage source for our bees. The hazelberts continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger and taller and taller. We haven't gotten so much rain that things are wanting to, that bacterial infections are wanting to spread. Not yet, at least. Here's another jujube. Once again, all of them are starting to fruit up. They do start to change colors. Once they turn all the way red, they'll start to shrivel up and kind of look like a date. They'll get a little bit softer. If you eat them in their current position, like this, it's kind of like a crab apple. Let me get a... So it's got the texture of an apple, and the consistency of an apple. But if I leave this on there, and it kind of turns all the way red, that's going to get kind of mushy and end up tasting and feeling like a date. Things are looking good, garden fans. For where we're at right now, I'm super happy. Our water catchment system continues to go through phases where we like it, we change it, it gets better, we keep changing it. Currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these jugs have been filled up within the past 2 weeks. Really good. So we got plenty of water. Our water catchment system is doing its job. Important part of any permaculture garden is to have some sort of water storage. On the other side we have 1, 2, 3, 3.5 tanks filled up. So we're doing good. We're doing good storing resources, storing water, and the whole food forest looks really good right now. I'm not going to go into much more detail than that, garden fans. I'll just take another little walk around, show you a couple different angles of it. If you have any questions about what's growing on here, please just ask. It's just, there's so much growing on, it would be silly for me to try to identify every plant and talk about everything going on. We do have a veritable amount of fruit, trees, nuts, shrubs, all growing together in a really nice symbiosis. We appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. As always, that's what really helps us out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. God bless.